Leadership Skills Part 1. Think about what qualities make some people better leaders than others. A traditional organizational chart shows individuals who are lower on the organizational chart reporting to the person directly above them on the chart. It's usually vertical in appearance. Horizontal charts eliminated some of the middle manager positions in organizations. The remaining middle managers in these situations have taken on more responsibilities, and they're spread pretty thin. Middle managers are expected to be contacted when you've tried and are unable to solve your own problems. So this is the traditional organizational chart. The vertical chart has been used for a lot of years. Now look and see where the LPN is on that chart. This is a contemporary chart. It's more of a horizontal. It's newer. And the middle managers, again, are spread pretty thin, and they've got multiple people that are reporting to them. People that actually might be outside their scope of practice. Again, note where the LPN is on the chart. Also review the following for more guidelines related to the expanded role of the practical or vocational nurse. The NAPNES, NAPNES Standards of Practice and Educational Standards of Graduates of Practical Vocational Nursing Programs, and the NFLPN, the Nursing Practice Standards for the Licensed Practical Vocational Nurse. All practical nurses are managers in the sense that they consistently need to direct, handle, and organize care for their assigned patients. Learning leadership is a process. It's a continual development that includes many skills and is something that evolves over time. Now, nurses or LPNs, their role is going to be an interdependent role. They work with the rest of the team, but they're not necessarily, even though they're a charge nurse, the one in charge. An RN must always supervise the LPN within a 24-hour period. So what is the difference between management and leadership? Well, the focus of management is going to be planning and directing to meet the patient goals. It's a formal role that's given to a person by their employer. They're appointed by their employer. The tools needed for management might be written in a step-by-step manner, and they're there for you to follow. Following the directions for using management skills would possibly get the job done in an efficient manner. Whereas the focus of leadership is to produce changes in the workplace that meet the goals of the employing agency. It's an informal role, and it's given to a person by a group of workers. You become a leader when your team members decide to follow you. Leaders cannot be appointed. The leader needs to influence others in the work setting to want to implement desired change. Directions for leadership skills can also be written, but it is through experience that leadership skills are truly developed. So what kind of leader are you? In my book, it's on page 254, there is a short leadership style quiz, and I suggest that you go ahead and take it just to see what kind of leader you are. There are 3 different leadership styles. The autocratic leader is task-oriented, and they tell people what to do. They don't share that responsibility with anyone else. They really emphasize the policy. They might reach their goals. This type of leader is good in a crisis situation, a code situation, or emergencies. A democratic leader will focus both on the task and the employee. They share the responsibility and authority with the employee. They enforce policies in the context of concern for the employee. They seek input and encourage problem solving. Their goals may be achieved with positive staff feelings. It's good for daily nursing care situations, meetings, review of care plans, and committees. The laissez-faire leader is purely people-oriented. They give away responsibility to employees, and employees act without any real direction. They put the employees before the policies. They try to please everybody, and their goals may not be achieved. This type of leader is good when organizational policies and goals are not a consideration. And situational leadership, although it's not a leadership style, you have to understand that the leadership style can vary to fit the situation. So it may require someone to be autocratic and democratic at the same time, or democratic and laissez-faire at the same time. You have some of each style of leadership depending where you are on the continuum. A blend to some degree of the two extremes in the appropriate work situation would be the leadership style that's needed at the moment. And again, a chart that shows the continuum of leadership styles.